Welcome to another episode of Geekmen and the Masters of the Thunder Nerds. I'm Dustin.
I'm Bo.
Yeah, all right. So we're pretty excited. We have a
And
guest today.
this was kind of a Doug guess. We should have had him on way earlier. I don't know why it didn't. We're just idiots here. But of course, if you've ever bobbed your head or had the song stuck in your head, our intro.
Yep.
This is the man responsible. Let's introduce our guest.
Hey, it's Shane.
Welcome.
Welcome, JM.
Hey, hi, great to be here. What's up?
So glad to have you here. I got to ask you first off. I know for a fact you don't hear the song the way we hear the song.
Yeah.
What's it like hearing that back? Like now that's like being, I wouldn't say professionally used, but used in a professional state.
Yeah. Well, I'm very familiar with it. But I had so much fun writing it. It's like such like a throwback to like the old school, like 80s video games and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
the kind of like Dustin's instructions when he asked for the theme.
Yeah.
So listening back to my stuff, it's fun. I like it more when people really enjoy it, so I'm glad that you guys, liked it enough to keep it.
Yeah. Well, I
No,
mean,
it's-
we've had just about every guest that comes on is just like, yeah, I've had that song stuck in my head. And
Yeah,
then a few
you'll
people
see
have
their
been like,
little, you'll see their heads bobbing like in the StreamYard video. You'll see them like sitting there like, yeah, that's good too.
That's
yeah,
great. That's
exactly.
great. I love that. It's so much fun to, it's just, this is a hobby turned into like a semi-professional thing, and to have people enjoy what you do is just like, I can't even, put into words how it feels. It's just, it's very cool.
Yeah.
Well, it's much deserved, sir. You are quite the talented. Because
Thanks.
your work has been. I mean, you sold work to pretty much every conceivable company I can think of, like incidental music, anything. Like, there's no telling how much music of yours that we've heard and not even known.
Yeah. That's my stock music side of the business, where like for years, I've been doing stock music about 10 years now, where I just wrote a whole bunch of different styles, orchestral, metal, rock, like ukulele stuff, like commercial, electronic,
Yeah.
and just like wrote as much as I could. It was kind of like a good lesson to learn how to write all this stuff too. And I sell it as stock music, so people could buy and put on their YouTube videos, and bigger companies have used it in their ads or their commercials, or maybe even on their TV shows. I can't even keep track of everything. It kind of just like all spreads out. I got hundreds of songs out there, and some of them do well, and some of them are being used in television shows in like Europe and stuff. So it's pretty cool. It's kind of crazy. I can't keep track of it.
I should put this link up for people just in case, because they can absolutely shop if they need. If you need a theme song or incidental music for your podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and it's very affordable. For I
Yeah.
get something for a YouTube video, stock music. It's like $25 for a license to use it forever.
Yeah.
What was what was that first job that you had as you know selling off music? What was like the first job where you got it and you're like, oh, I can actually just keep doing this. I can do this.
Well, in terms of like the stock music, it was like 2011. I was still just, dicking around with in like my homemade studio, and with just a computer and like a cheap audio interface, and I just got a piano keyboard. So I started getting into writing orchestral music, because the software, the technology is getting better and better on it. So even 10 years ago, it sounded like really good. So I uploaded it to a site called Audio Jungle, and it was a song called Epic Movie Trailer, and it's like a minute and a half, like just this big bombastic thing. And I put it up there. I was like, maybe I'll make some money doing it. I had no plans to get into the business like that. And within like a week, somebody bought it, and I made like, I don't know, I made like $8, and and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, this could be something viable. It's something I love doing. I was doing it anyway. I was in my own kind of makeshift studio.
Yeah.
Since like And 2001, I used to try to record all like my metal songs and stuff. So, after that, I was like, well, I'm going to try to do a song every week, which, it turned into like once a month. As I was getting better at it, I got faster. So that was like one of the first real times I made any money. It was $8, but it just set off a whole new like way of thinking about it. Not that I do it for the money, but the money's nice. And then later on, I got a website started, and sometimes people would hear my stuff on YouTube, and they would contact me directly through my website saying, "Hey, can you do a song for my my podcast or my YouTube video or it's like a title thing?" And so I started doing that, and I have a few of those out there. You guys being one of them.
Yeah,
Um,
happy customers.
Yeah.
Good to hear. Good to hear. And so, that's like a nice little way to make a little money too, just doing custom songs. And that's I mean, I'm not making, believe me, I got my day job, this is like a hobby with like a little extra spending money to go to like restaurants and stuff. It's, it's fun to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we should point out, like, you had this, obviously it got bigger, and this is how I met you. We had worked early on in the years of the Gray Rooms, where you're doing like these full orchestral scores.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that story where Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill, like, they got the footage back from Batman for the first time, and it had an orchestral score and everything, and they're like, this is what we were working on.
Right.
That's the way I feel about that Gray Rooms episode.
Rest in peace, Kevin.
Yes, man.
Gray Rooms was so that was like my first like foray into something like that. It was basically a audio drama, podcast, the Gray Rooms. And Jason heard one of my songs on YouTube and reached out to me, and he's like, I'm working on this thing. Explain the concept. He's like, I'm looking for a theme song. So I was like, bet, I'll charge $100 for the theme song. He's like, all right, great. I wrote him the theme song. We went back and forth. He loved it. And then I was like, all right, see you later, because a lot of times it's like, that's the last time you talk to the client, So he sent me a link, I don't know, 7 months later with the first preview episode, which was Falling. And I listened to it. I was like, oh my, I was like, this is great stuff. It's like I didn't expect it. There was the sound effects, the storytelling was great. And he had like all this stock music in the background. And I was like, I could do that music. I was like, I could do that. So I reached out to Jason. I was like, you interested in like a full-time composer? And he's like, yes, please. He's like, cause I'm, it's very hard to accumulate all this stock music. So I think there was another preview episode, and I got in time to do about half the season. So half the season he had kind of done already. Some episodes I even did only half the music in the first season, and then there was stock music in the other half. So by the time season 2 came along, and Bandit, no, what was the name of the episode? The Western.
Oh, I should know. You know what? I don't even remember the name of it.
I remember the name of the song.
Oh, Jailbird.
Jailbird. Yeah, that's it. So by the time that was the first episode of the first season, and that's when I was already like kind of comfortable getting like the feel for how to lay the music out. And, like you said, full orchestral scores. It's like I was scoring the whole episode front to back at that point. Wow. And it was like a new adventure in songwriting. Working on that podcast made me faster. It made me not be a perfectionist, because if you're and when we talk about the new project, I could be a perfectionist about things and never get things done. But so it's nice to have a timeline, and to get these things done, you learn shortcuts, and it was one of the most creative, experiences that I've ever had in terms of writing and being a musician.
Well, I can personally tell you that that was such an experience. Plus, I got to show, that was something that because when you write or do shows like this, the podcast, like, your family doesn't quite get what you're doing, or you can't quite relate. I told my dad I wrote a Western. My parents, I told them I wrote a Western, and it's like an old radio show. And my dad, well, he was like completely enthralled in it. And I was like, oh yes, finally, he knows what I'm
Yeah.
doing. But yeah, fantastic stuff. And not to slam, I'm not slamming that first season or anything. You can tell where you came in because it's just one of those. It was more uniform.
Mhm.
Wasn't there an episode that you did where you did it in like a week or something stupid short? I want to say it was the Rasputin episode.
Not the no, because actually that was the Rasputin episode. I actually like kind of like did a lot of research and delved into like Russian music theory
Okay.
to try to do the best I could on that. We had one episode. I'm not good with remembering names, so we're just gonna
I'm
go
the
from
same.
there. It's
Yeah, you're fine.
the last episode of the third season. Was a story written by Arthur Runk. It was like an Armageddon story, and Cthulhu was in it. And I got the audio because of delays, voice actors, things. I got, we released a new episode every Sunday for the patrons. I got the audio for that story on Sunday morning, and we had to release the podcast by Sunday night. And so
that's
like
shorter
it was
than
like a 6 or 7 hour session in the studio,
Jeez.
where I just just crack down and get it done. I told my wife, I was like, I'm not going to see you today. I don't want to get this done. Thank God my wife, she's the best. She totally understands, and she knows that, I have, this passion to do it. So she totally supports me. It's great. She's like, yeah, go ahead, go do what you need. Brings me lunch, it's awesome. Yeah. So yeah, that one was the biggest, one where, it's like, oh, I got like 6 or 8 hours to get like a 40-minute episode scored.
Man. So yeah, my memory got mixed up. That's what it was. Because now I'm remembering. It's like the Rasputin episode about how you had done like all this crazy research.
Yeah.
Because it's so authentically of a period piece music. I remember that music. That's like wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like, What is that like doing music like that where you it's not something you're acclimated to?
Well, yeah, that was like a cool little like test of how I can, I listen to all sorts of like Russian like opera and orchestral music. I am my old job. Well, it's still what I do, but in my old company, I was allowed to wear headphones. I'm a sanitation driver in the day, so I used to be able to wear headphones and just listen to podcasts and music all day. So like I would just go on Spotify and look up like Russian music, Russian orchestral music, old school stuff. And so I would just kind of get the feel for it, and then you come home and you try not to rip it off exactly. You're trying to get the feel for it, and go from there. And I'm not musically trained. I'm not I didn't take lessons or anything. It's I kind of just taught myself. So I just kind of go by the feel. And if I can't play it on piano, I kind of like fake play piano. I can like sound stuff out. I could play a little bit, but nobody would say that I was a piano player. And then I could go into the software and just adjust where I need and get it to sound, good at that point.
That's crazy. Yeah, you hear that all the time from the best musicians. You hear it all the time. Like, I can't read music.
Yeah,
I can't
no,
say
I
I don't. I'm just not classically trained. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah. I go by feel. One of the things I've always said is like when I'm approaching a project like that is it's kind of like a puzzle. So like it's there. I just need to figure out where all the pieces are, and then I just go from there. So it's like, the right stuff, the right sound is there already. I just need to find it.
Yeah.
And so when I find it, then it goes from there. And sometimes it flows, sometimes it doesn't.
Well, I don't think I've ever heard it not, but I guess that's you would know. So, I want to talk about the new album. I want to show a picture of it.
Oh, thanks.
Can I just say this album? I love it so much because it sounds like the soundtrack to a Sega CD game that never came out, or like an early PlayStation game. It's just so just digitally hard.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
Thanks. Now that's the one where I was being a perfectionist. I started work on most of those songs in like 2014, 2015. And it's kind of like a culmination of all the different styles of music that I enjoy. I'm a metalhead first and foremost.
Yeah.
I've been since I was in like 7th or 8th grade, and I first heard Metallica's Black Album, and I just kind of like went from there.
Yeah.
And now I'm into all sorts of crazy death metal and stuff like that. But I had that metal, and then I grew up with really like soundtrack music. So I grew up with Star Wars and Back to the Future. John Williams is one of my biggest musical heroes.
Yeah,
He's
for
one
sure.
of the greatest composers who's ever lived. Not just film composer, just overall, he's amazing. So
Yep.
I grew up with all that music behind me. So when I started venturing into a little bit of trying to write orchestral, when the concept for this album came up in my head back in like 2015, it was like, I want to combine all the stuff that I like. I had a big hip hop phase, so there's like some of that in there. I love electronic music, just because of like the grooves and the feeling of it. So I was like, let me just try to get it all together and mash it up and see what I could come up with. And I know it's like 70% metal, and then everything else is in there. But it was so much fun to write. And after the Grey Rooms ended, I had some free time. The project kind of got put on hold when the Grey Rooms was in production because I really didn't have time to work on anything else.
Right.
That Grey Rooms, I was working 20 hours a week on the Grey Rooms, typically. So once that freed up, finished, I was like, let's buckle down and get these songs done because they need to be done now. I was tired of them.
Yeah, that's like 20 hours of your own time too, to think about that. Like that's outside of work. So that's a lot of commitment.
Yeah. My last job I was lucky, I was working 40 hours a week, but I had Wednesdays off as well as the weekends. So I would work Wednesdays and like Saturdays to get episodes done. Usually 2 6-hour sessions or something like that.
Well, I think that stems from I did see it like you're totally a family guy.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
you absolutely love your family. Like it's what because you worked one of your kids worked on the show too, right?
Yeah. Hale.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had their videographer, film editing, Photoshop. She's always been into it.
Yeah.
So I thought of an idea for her to do a documentary about the Grey Rooms in season 2. I was like, this will be a fun project for you. We can get everyone to do interviews. You could edit it. And then Chase had we ended up not doing the documentary, but Chase ended up using her talents for doing like little promos. And then like all little videos there's like a lot of little videos that she did for the Grey Rooms that ended up like on YouTube for like, promos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And she worked on she did all the video editing for like the Patreon, like the FAQs and stuff like that they were doing.
Yeah.
So it was fun.
What's that like to have? Because not every artist gets that sort of relationship with their family. Like sometimes it has to be very segregated. But for you, it looks like it's complete opposite.
Yeah, well, I'm close to my kids, and I've never, I try to be a parent, but I've always been friends with my kids too. And, they grew up with me, being creative, playing guitar all the time, always trying to set up some kind of studio thing. So when Hale got into doing video and stuff, I was like, oh, I encouraged it. I was like, do it. She had they're lucky, they have cell phones with awesome cameras on them from the time that they're young, and so she got all the, she started getting into editing, Photoshop. She was doing picture stuff. She loves photography. So
nice.
I was just encourage them to be as creative as they can be, because that's, it's I think it's important to be creative if you can, if you want to.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. We worked. We ended up doing a short film last year for a little local competition. It's called Harry. It was just a little. It was like a movie trailer competition. So we just made a movie trailer, and she like kind of directed and filmed it. I did the score to it, and
nice.
it's about a serial killer who's actually somebody's like old imaginary friend or something like that. It's just not an original concept, I'm sure, but.
Nice. I like it.
So we're going to try to do more of those now that there's a little more time to do some stuff.
Yeah.
That's cool. Like you said, it's
that's
easy
her
to
desk
pick up
too. It's a mess. She's 22 years old. She's not organized yet.
Well, geniuses aren't neat.
I got to tell you, so I moved in when we moved to this house a year ago. This room, that wall wasn't even there. I had the wall put in, and we had the carpet ripped out. And I was like, I'm gonna make a studio, And this is the first time I've had an organized studio. Usually there's shit all over the place, So I was like, if I have to do a video, this will be a good spot.
Yeah.
I'm glad we got to utilize it when the people got to utilize it.
This is the first one. Yeah, this is the first time I'm doing anything like this. Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad I'm finally on.
Yeah, man. I don't know why we didn't have you on earlier. I guess it's because we kind of unexpectedly we took that break. And
yes,
I don't know.
Yeah, I remember because I did the song for you. You guys got it. You ran it like 1 or 2 episodes, and then you were like, "Oh, we're not going to do it right now." I was like, "Oh no, what happened?"
That was. I had personal break. I had to do it.
Yeah,
but I'm glad we're doing this, and we found the whole StreamYard thing and made that transition.
Yeah.
This has been
this is great. This is great. I try to. I can't listen to podcasts and stuff as much as I used to. But I do try to every once in a while jump on an episode and catch you guys.
Nice. Appreciate it.
It's in my YouTube feed. So if I get a chance and I see it, I pop it on. Yeah, my old position, I could listen to podcasts all day. But now the company that I work for, they don't allow you to put on headphones, so I can listen to the stereo, but I can't. My hearing is not great for all the band. When I was in a band in my early 20s, I didn't wear hearing protection. So wear hearing protection if you're in a band. It's important.
There you go.
Yeah.
So like I just listen to music now because I already know the music. So I don't have to listen to words.
Yeah, that was weird. We were talking about that last night. That The Sound of Metal. That film, like it is a scary idea, like especially to something that you love, being a musician.
Yeah.
Just being unaware of it. So yes, wear your protection, people.
Yeah. Wear your earplug. They have awesome earplugs now. All different companies make it. They don't like you go to concerts and stuff. They don't muffle the sound. They lower the sound by like 20 decibels. So the ones that I use are a company called Eargasm. They're incredible. And you pop them in and you could still hear everything crystal clear. It's just lower. It's not blowing out your ears. I'm at the point with my ears that if I can't listen to anything really loud, it physically hurts.
Yeah
I've done lots of
I
damage.
need that for my kids.
Yeah.
Because I kid you not, like I have an Apple Watch and I keep getting like high decibel sounds, and it's just like, hey, you should probably get to somewhere with less.
It goes off. Yeah, I got my goes off at 90 decibels.
Yeah.
And it says, this is too loud. If you listen to this for like a half an hour, you're going to start losing your hearing.
Right.
Where's all these? Everybody's got Mission Impossible watches. I don't have one of these. I guess it's because I'm not like an Apple person, but I didn't know we had Mission Impossible watches built into the Apple.
Oh, yeah. And you can use them as walkie-talkies too.
Yeah.
The Dick Tracy fantasy.
Yes, exactly. I've been waiting since I was a kid for this.
And the only problem is I can't get anyone to actually use it because they're like, "Oh no, I don't really want to do that." It's just like, all right, well,
just call me. Nobody wants to call anymore anyway. It's all
texting
anyway. What? I'm one of those people. I'd rather not call.
Yeah.
I just express my feelings.
Shoot a quick quick text or something.
Exactly.
It's so weird that technology-wise, we just decided to just leapfrog the whole. We can talk to anybody on the planet anywhere, and they're like, nah, I'd rather just still mail letters. Can I do that like electronically?
Yeah. Well, that's why, when we had all the lockdowns during the pandemic, I was like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I don't use, I'm kind of we're like homebodies, besides going out to the beach now and stuff, and a few restaurants, we if we could avoid people, we do.
Yeah.
Boy, did you use that the pandemic time? Were you able to sharpen your
No,
edges?
I work sanitation, so I was an essential worker, so I didn't miss one day of work.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, you know what? I cannot complain. I was actually very lucky, that a lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people, lost everything. I was I was lucky that I was in a position where I didn't miss an hour. I actually didn't even take vacation that summer because what are we going to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just sit at home.
Yeah. And I love sitting at home. I got a 3-day weekend, and I plan on spending the next 2 days doing nothing but, playing video games, barbecuing, maybe catching a movie in the living room.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, we're gonna cook out tonight, I think.
Oh,
yeah, we're gonna do ours tomorrow.
Cool. Yeah. Let's talk about Mutual Annihilation.
Sure.
I was just to prep. I wanted to listen to it again last night, and it really does feel like a score to some movie that just doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody could write a movie to it.
It would be nice.
Great. That'd be great.
It evokes a lot of you do a lot of you work your music magic, because there's a lot of things that just visuals that want to just pop in your head.
Yeah.
Especially just the initial image of the let me pull that up.
On the cover. Yeah, I made that too. I did that too.
Did you?
Yeah. Well,
Cool.
I was dipping in Photoshop too, like ever since, I was in like my early 20s, or whenever, I remember like torrenting Photoshop 7, back when I was a kid, when I was younger, like trying to like do all these graphics for my band at the time,
Right.
I had a metal band, and, making logos and stuff. So
yeah.
I just got a bunch of stock stuff, and I melded it together nicely, I think.
Yeah.
I enjoy doing that stuff too. Like
it looks like one of our covers to Orphotic Rome.
Oh shit.
we were talking about.
I love skulls. There's going to be a skull in every album cover that I do. Like I have one on my desk right here. This,
love it.
Oh yeah, because we did it for your cartoon in the beginning. Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, which I love that. I love that little avatar, by the way. That was awesome. And I really appreciate you putting me in the credits like that in the beginning. That's like, above and beyond.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. You're totally a geek man and or thunder nerd. You take
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So the album, was it intentional? You said you slowly built this up over. For how long? What was the initial?
I started tooling around with these songs in about 2015. And when I came up with the thought of like, oh, maybe I'll just do an instrumental metal album with orchestral elements. That's how it started. Kind of like, because I'm at that point, I'm still trying to learn to score and all these other things. And so like I started getting like the bones of the project together at that point for a couple of years. And even when I was working on the Grey Rooms, I go back to it in the summer when we had like a small hiatus and go through and like update the songs. It's just, like I said before, it's all these different elements of music that I like. And I was like, let me try melding them together and kind of make it as epic as I can make it, epic. And, it was kind of became like a passion project, and it was one of those perfectionist project. It should have been done years ago.
Yeah.
I sat down in January and I said, actually, no, it was before January, but I sat down maybe last fall. And I was like, this is it. Let's get this done now. And it took me a few months to finish it. On Saturday mornings, a couple hours here and there.
Yeah.
Well, it's
I know a lot of
fantastic.
people that are perfectionists, and it's like that are music professionals, perfectionists, and it's like, well, you know, you probably shouldn't. You should just go with your
Yeah,
gut and then release it.
it's hard, and it's like as I'm writing it, I'm like, are people gonna like this? Like because that's always.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know that I like it because it's not because I wrote it, but because I put my everything into it
Yeah,
that I kind of like. So I was like, I like, the way it sounds and, the way the tracks are organized. But it's like, is everyone else gonna like this? Like anybody who is there, they're gonna appreciate how I, did this transition, or like there's all these little things that, like if you go back and listen to it, there's all these like little transitions and
mm-hmm.
little like high, like little parts going on and stuff that fades in and out that you might not notice on the first listen through. And it's just something like that was just really fun for me to do and plan out. And some of it's accidental, like I accidentally hit a key and it's like, oh, wait a minute, maybe we could do something. We
Yeah,
could do something here.
yeah.
You know,
No, that's cool. I've actually I've heard Gary Newman. It was the exact same thing. I've heard him a lot of happy accidents in studios
oh
and
yeah,
stuff.
absolutely. Happens all the time. I would say every project that I've worked on, there's always like a happy accident that happens. Sometimes you write a part and then instead of playing it from the beginning, you play it from the middle and you realize that a middle section sounds better first, or you can like twist it a certain
Yeah.
way. And now you have a whole different part, so stuff like that happens all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my personal. You were talking about all these transitions and stuff. Interstellar wins.
Yeah.
That one is just. That one takes you on a journey. I
Yeah.
really like that one.
Yeah. That's one of that one's one of my favorite ones on there. My favorite one on there for sure. That one is probably also I think that was the second song that I wrote for the album. And it was funny because when I was planning the album out, I had 2 or 3 songs, and I was like, with Spotify and Apple Music and stuff like that, it doesn't qualify as an album unless it has a certain amount of tracks or is a certain length. So I was originally going to release 3 songs, and it wasn't long enough. So it would have been put into those as singles, and I didn't want it to be that. I wanted it to be an album. So I was like, I have to write 2 more songs. So last year I started writing other songs. I wrote Hadeon and Abiogenesis last year, as not as filler, but like just to expand on the main 3 songs, which are the Gravitational Collapse, Interstellar Winds, and Collapse. Those were like the 3 songs I was going to release together. So I wrote the other 2 to expand the album. I got it up. It's 5 songs, but it's 35 minutes. Like 2 of the songs hit 8 or 9 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So they are kind of like big, like I like to like compare it to like, or orchestral pieces where, where it's just like, the same part isn't really played twice. It just kind of goes and sometimes it goes long. And so I try to like take you on a journey. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird talking about it like this.
You really do. It definitely took me on a journey. I the first time I listened to it, I jumped on your Bandcamp and I was like, oh, this is so good. And I listened to it back to back several times, and then jumping in the car, doing whatever. But yeah, I immediately listened to it a couple times. It's just so good.
Thanks.
Did it cause you to speed?
No, I didn't drive. I can't drive actually, but
well, I just love that because there's a lot of music that gets you. It really feels like you get into it. It feels like I don't know, like Coheed and Cambria. They're really they do those big orchestral songs that last.
Yes.
Mars Volta,
right?
So I dig that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
Yeah.
I really want to play it, but we got copyright ID, and I'm scared to play anything. So what I'm going to say is Bandcamp. If you don't know about Bandcamp by now, man,
you got copyright. Did you play?
Nothing specifically from you. It was just that we're just gun shy now because of music and stuff. No, you should have seen what we got copyright ID for. It was ridiculous.
Right. I do have all my stuff copyright ID, but I could also whitelist this video so they wouldn't bother you.
Oh.
if they wanted to do that.
What do you want?
Nice.
Do you want to play a sample then?
If you want to, you don't have to.
I kind of want people to hear it if they haven't, because I've got Interstellar Winds pulled up, and I really would like to hit just like 30 seconds of it so people get an idea of what's going on.
Sure.
Let me do that share screen.
Oh, this is weird. This is like when you play music for somebody and they're just standing there watching them react to your music.
And then you do that.
It's like
Yeah,
that.
you like it?
Yeah.
You guys are going to like this. I like it.
Yo, for sure.
There's a big crescendo coming up.
Listen to that, man.
So good.
Yeah, I need that movie, man.
Yeah.
I need that movie. It's so good.
It feels like another like an expansion on Interstellar, the Interstellar soundtrack.
Yeah,
it has a very similar vibe.
Yeah,
Right,
if it went metal. Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. The Interstellar score, if it was metal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I love that because Hans Zimmer is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big fan.
Yeah, I've always compared you to I never know how to say his last name. Ramen, is it Djawadi?
Djawadi. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I love his, that's what I would compare your music to.
Oh yeah. He's great too. He did great work on, well, obviously Game of Thrones, but like his stuff on like Westworld. And what did he do?
Westworld.
Did he do the World of Warcraft movie or something like that?
He might have. I know he did the Pacific
I know he's a
score too.
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot about that. That was great.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, because I used to work at a, well, it was like in a call center, but me and my buddy Brian, we always would listen to we had a John Williams playlist, so it would play all the John Williams songs from on what's that, Pandora.
Right.
So it was just on Pandora, and it would play through all those songs, and it's just like, this would be a perfect addition. I just want to be like, hey, we should play this.
Good, man.
But yeah, I don't work with them right now anymore, so
I hope you don't get sick of us telling you how good you are.
It's definitely no, I'm not gonna get sick of it.
Good.
So, I really do appreciate it. I put a lot of hard work into it, a lot of hours. So, to get a reaction like this it's really, really nice. I really appreciate it. It's humbling, really. I don't like doing this is weird for me, being like, hey, listen to my music. It's awesome, or anything like that. I don't really, it's not like my MO. I just kind of like to make it. And then if people like it, great. If they don't, everybody likes their own thing, and then I'll just move on to the next project,
Yeah.
And because now I'm done with this project, I haven't worked on anything since I released it, but I have my ideas down for my next album.
Nice.
Which I don't know when I cannot tell you when it's going to be done, but it's going to be more horror themed than this was more like a sci-fi theme.
Ooh, yes.
So it's going to be more like metal horror.
I
already have
synth.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see. There'll still be actually not as much orchestral, but more like 80s style synth type music. Think like Nightmare on Elm Street, like stuff like that. It's like I want to do like a metal version of all that.
I love it. The middle idea of a Carpenter soundtrack. That's that's what I want to hear.
Another one of my favorites. John Carpenter is amazing.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Well, you talked about music. When was the point in your life when you realized there was like a real passion for music. Like if it was John Williams, like what movie was it, or what was it that just kickstarted it in your brain? Like, yeah, I want to do this.
Oh, well, first, like half the people in my family play an instrument. Uh, you know, uh, you know, my uncle, my aunt, my mother, my cousins, they all play guitar and bass. And when we used to have birthday parties or whatever, they would jam. So like music was, it was a part of life, which, was like a big, there was always music. There was always music on, no matter where I went, no matter whose house I went to. So I was interested in learning. Eventually, when I was like 9, I started playing piano. And it was things like going back to like the real question, the root of your question is so I'm like, I'm an 80s kid. I'm 44. I grew up with VHS tapes. I would watch Back to the Future and then rewind it and then watch it again. And that score is like my all-time favorite score. All the John Williams stuff is amazing, but the score to the Back to the Future is the one that made me go, damn, like I would really like to make something like that.
Yeah.
Is that Silvestri?
Silvestri, yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's just the way he used the themes in the in the scenes, and the way the music builds up, and then like culminating in the whole clock tower scene at the end.
Yeah.
With it like as a kid, it would give me chills.
Yeah.
So that's when I was like, oh, it might be, at first it wasn't really I want to learn how to play it. I want to be able to play it. And then started playing guitar when I was 15. Never, I took piano lessons for like a couple of months, and I was like, oh, I don't need another teacher. I didn't like being like taught what to do. Like same thing in school. It's like, I did well in school, but I didn't do my homework. I was a good test taker, but I didn't like doing the work.
Yeah.
So it's like, you're telling me I have to learn these things by the next time we have a lesson. I was like, I'm not going to do it, So I stopped playing piano, but I started playing guitar. The first song I learned was Smells Like Teen Spirit. And it just kind of went from there. I taught myself how to play. And by the time I was 19, I joined my first band. And that's when I first started like getting into writing things.
Nice.
And then the band was called Providing the Sickness. We were a metal band. We were like almost new metal. Like we started right before new metal made it big. And then, then I had a kid, and I was like, I'm going to go deal with, not deal with, I'm going to go have my family now and leave the band. And then that's when I just started creating at home. And then every year it got a little more, just learning how to write and how my process is, and improving my process, and learning, I don't know the scales by heart, but I can feel them out on the piano. And, so, I mean, it's just a lifelong process, coming up to this point. And, there's still millions of things I don't know, and so much that I still want to learn, and I'm still like, my YouTube channel is all like geek culture stuff and music theory stuff.
Nice.
My algorithm.
Where can people find you on YouTube?
Oh, JM Scherf on YouTube. You could go to my website, jmscherf.com. I got links to my social media and stuff. The stuff I have on YouTube right now is it's mostly I just have songs that I wrote. I don't really have any stuff in the studio. There's one cool little time-lapse video I did when the Grey Rooms did a version of The Raven, and I did the score. It was like a Patreon episode, but I think it was publicly released later. And I think there was no time limit on that, but I think I did the whole score in about 2 hours using one orchestral program. I didn't use anything else because it was like one of those tests, like, oh, let me see if I could do it with just this little orchestra thing that I bought. So I just set up a camera, and then I just time lapsed it.
Nice.
And so it plays the soundtrack, but you could see me, working really quickly. I wanted to do more stuff on YouTube. It's very time consuming.
Yeah. Yeah, we've picked the easiest version. Just do it live for a couple hours.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah.
You don't have to edit or anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's the editing part. I had like a welcome video. I took it down now because it's outdated and it's in a different studio. But it took me hours. I like filmed it. I did all these shots. I edited it together, and I was like, I don't have time to do this.
Right.
I got the full-time job, and I want to do music. I can't. I don't have enough time to do music and all this video editing stuff. And there's a lot of content creators out there who do a great job of showing you new music stuff and new software coming out. I kind of wanted to get into that, but I'm not a big talker. I don't know if you can tell.
I know we probably should have asked that. Should have been our first question.
Yeah. Sometimes I ramble and I say the same things over and over, and sometimes I completely lose my my thought process.
Yeah.
But but it's all good. It's all good and fun. It's all, it was another like creative thing that I tried. I was like, nah, I'd rather just sit in the studio and make music without anyone watching me.
I think that's what I was thinking about when I was hearing your story. It feels like you had all these seeds planted, and right when it was beneficial for you to be more isolated as a musician, the family came in and it gave you that time, as opposed to falling. Because who knows where you'd be if you followed that band? Maybe you never explored more of what you really want to do.
Yeah. Well, when I was in the band, we were coming to a point where we might have been like trying to do like a tour, and I'm like, I do not want to live in a van for a month at a time. And we were 21 when we had Hail, and so it was a kind of like a critical point where I stayed in the band for a year after we had her, but I was like, you know what? We weren't making money. I was like, I got to buckle down and take care of the family. So, I left the band, and no regrets, and they went on for a little while, and then they all ended up doing their own thing after that.
Yeah.
But, it kind of, the band planted like the creative seeds. So that's when I got home, and even like in 2002, there was like really crude software that you use on your PC to like start recording guitars and synthesizer out, but like the drum software samplers were just starting to come out in like 2002, 2003. Like it was a Tune Track. Easy Drummer was like a big program where it come out in like the mid 2000s, and it was like, oh man, real sounding drums that I can use to write music to. I don't need a band. I could just, write. I didn't even have a bass guitar. I was doing bass guitar on like a synthesizer just to give you like a low sound under it. I got songs from that era, from like 2005 to 2012, that are just sitting on my hard drive. Sometimes I listen back. It's like, oh, I need to like redo this with all the new stuff. But it's amazing the way the software opened everything up. Yeah. And it gives everybody so many options to be, sometimes too many options to be creative, video and audio.
Yeah. And I think that's like the entire premise of what is that band, Owl City? Everything is like he just does it on his Mac.
Yeah.
Everything. It's like, that's wild.
A lot of newer electronic musicians they have their Mac, and they have a little piano keyboard and set of headphones, and they're putting out amazing like studio quality, music that you would never tell, that was in, made in somebody's bedroom, not even in a studio, like in their own studio. They're laying in bed and they're making this amazing music. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I love it. I wish I had this stuff when I was younger.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear that.
So you could have already done it, but what's the dream project? What's the project where you like, you'd like to achieve that on Mount Olympus? Where would you like to?
Oh, I would like to score like a full movie, a movie. My ultimate goal, which, the dream goal, I'm not saying it's a realistic one, but is I would love to work on film scoring professionally.
Yeah, nice.
That's one of the big that's the main goal. I love working on film. I'm trying to put myself out there a little more now as like a film scoring, composer instead of just the, I mean, Grey Rooms gave me a lot of experience to kind of showed me that I might be capable of doing something like that.
Absolutely.
And I have maybe a project or two in the works, and I'm like doing all the there's like all these different sites where you can get film clips without score, and so I'm doing a lot of practicing.
Was there, I don't know if it was for a competition or didn't you do a Westworld clip?
Yes. Yeah, it was a competition.
Flawless.
Oh, thanks.
I was just like, this is legit, because I wasn't called up to that. I wasn't called up that season. I'm actually still not called up that season.
Yeah.
But I remember watching this and I was like, it's JM. But this sounds like I could not. Flawless, man.
That's me. I just bought a metal drum software. And so I was like, I'm going to use this as the main instrument on the on this trailer, and I just kind of went from there. And it was like metal drums with orchestral music. That's, there wasn't even any. I don't even think there was any guitars in there or anything. But there's constantly competitions online. Oh, score a trailer, win some software, and I'm not, I don't care about winning the software. It's just fun to take those, and it's something to work on, especially when you get like a clip from like a big time thing like Westworld or something like that. That's Spitfire Audio is the company that ran that. They run a competition every year like that now.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Well, to me, I would be disappointed in the planet if I'm not seeing your work in a year or two, if you're not doing something film-wise, because it really is that good. I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. You are very talented, and I think because you have it's more of a feel than the skill. Like like you don't have to. It's like you're not having to go through that barrier of translating. It's just like, here's how it makes me feel, and I can immediately do that in music.
Yeah,
that's like a God-given talent.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I appreciate that. I really do. Yeah. It's, like I said, it's just when I work, when I started, I said it before, I always, compare it to like doing a puzzle. It's like, I have an idea of what the song should be. I just need to figure out how it's going to sound, or how the score is going to sound. And scoring, my major scoring work is the Grey Rooms, which is why I'll always refer to them, because it was such a mind-opening experience in terms of how to approach writing, and not having. I filmed a couple of small film projects, which were fun. One of them I have a link to, I think, on my site. But doing the Grey Rooms, it's like I had to imagine what everything looked like. To do the music to it. That's how I was scoring it. I was trying to score it like it was a film. And I know
mission accomplished.
Yeah. Thanks. I tried to make it as involved, and professional as I could, and going forward, at the experience I had on there. I mean, we did it was like 80 episodes or something. 80 something episodes or 90 episodes altogether of all this work. And it just gave me the tools that I needed to like, all right, I think I can move forward now and start looking towards, like real film scoring.
Well, I'm glad you realize that. It's really good. You can also go to Bandcamp. All the Grey Room scores are there that you did.
I put out 2 albums for season 2 and season 3. And they're available on there. You could also listen, you don't have to buy them. If you buy them, I appreciate the support. You could listen to them on Spotify, Apple Music. I have them on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. Yeah. I just that stuff, especially the Grim stuff, it's out there for everyone to hear. I love for people to just be able to listen to it. You don't have to part with a nickel or any money to listen to it. I just love it to be out there.
Yeah.
Well, on a personal level, thank you for making me look 1,000 times better as a writer, because I don't know how
listen,
people realize
that story was
subconsciously.
amazing. I love that
Thank you.
story.
When I started hearing that, I was like, oh man, JM, he's
Yeah.
knocked it out of the park again.
Yeah.
But and that was the first time I ever tried to write a Western type of thing too.
Jeez, JM.
Well, but okay, so
That's
you know what it
crazy.
is? It's like I think I've watched so many movies
Mhm.
and I've listened to so many soundtracks. So like they're in here. So when it's time to write something like in a specific genre, I know where I know I should start leading. What instruments it's a lot of it's instrumentation. It's like you put a nice acoustic guitar with a violin and you put a little twang on the guitar and now it's a Western score.
Mhm.
But you could write the same thing with a distorted guitar, and instead of a violin it could be like a heavy synthesizer, and now it sounds like this epic sci-fi score. It's just you just got to learn to play with what you have available to you to make it work.
Yeah.
Well, it definitely works.
I really need to point out this. Jason had this really nice idea back in the day. He said, I want to make a trailer for your book. And I was like, oh, wow, really? And he's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I can get Alistair. Of course, Alistair.
Yes.
And then, but he came back and the music. And this was like the first time I felt like I was like, holy shit, who is this guy? Because I still had that trailer up. That's that book trailer up on my channel. Phenomenal job, and amazed at how well that came together.
Yeah.
So I have to thank you for that too. Because that was just everybody just kind of gifted that, and I still can't believe that happened. So
yeah, I remember Jason approached him. He's like, "Hey, you want to do this thing for Bo?" I was like, "Yeah, why not?" That sounds great.
It's one of my badges of honor. It's like I can tell you about the book, or I can just show you this video.
Yeah.
And it will do a way better job than what I can possibly say. And I'll have to put a link to that or something later. I'll do it later. I don't want to take up more of your time. I sincerely thank you for coming on the show, Jam.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, it's been a blast, and I would love to come back. And
please
we don't have
come back.
We don't have to talk about music. I am all the time. I'm firmly entrenched in like geek culture. I've since I was a kid, I was into all Star Wars, cartoons, Batman. I'm a huge comic book fan. So
I want to point out,
big like action figure guy.
Yeah.
I got all sorts of different action figures. I take them out of the package.
Yeah.
Because I like to position them, and hell yeah. I mean, I have this U2s here. This is Death on the Beach. It's from Family Guy.
Yeah.
And my kids got it for me because we live near the beach now, and I love stuff with skulls and death and stuff. So
right.
I also want to point out that you subconsciously have been delivering a Batman vibe because your guitars have made Batman horns behind you, and it just makes you that much more
shit.
like you've been subconsciously like, he looks extra badass right now. What is
that's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. You know what? I gotta keep track of that next time I do a video.
Yes, please. Always line yourself up right there. Yeah. You got it.
Oh yeah, I guess Batman, maybe not Catwoman, but more. Yeah, okay.
I like it. Well, please enjoy the rest of your holiday weekend.
Yeah, I will. Thank you for having
Absolutely.
me on.
Just whenever you want to come on, just we'll be. Yeah, we got a seat saved for you, buddy.
Yeah, just hit us up.
Hey, this is great. I love you guys are the best, and I really thank you for your support. And I know you've mentioned the album before on the podcast, and like I can't appreciate it enough.
Man. Absolutely,
thanks, man.
It's genuine love and talent for your talent. I genuinely do. I expect you to do big things.
Yep.
Thank you. Thanks.
I really do. Well, again, enjoy your weekend.
I will.
Enjoy the family. And,
bye, everybody else.
Yeah.
See ya.
We'll see you later. What a great! I love the dude.
Yeah. I love it.
I say as I release him, and it says kick, and I don't mean to say kick. They should reword that. Kick this person from the studio. It's like, no, release person.
Release them.
Release him into the wild like a beautiful dove.
That's pretty much it.
So you said you had you said you got stuff going on for the weekend. What's your weekend plan?
Oh yeah, I think we're gonna cook out and cook some burgers, and the girls want to do marshmallows and whatnot. So I think we got that going on.
You got to do the roasted marshmallows.
Yeah,
that's classic.
Yeah, we don't. It's not classic because we put them on the grill and go toast them that way because we don't have a campfire.
Oh, still, that's cool.
It's the same thing, same difference, I guess.
Well, I asked you ahead of time if it was cool because I know we had like a big episode yesterday.
Yeah.
That people are still just spreading that around, which is really nice for everyone.
Yes.
But we interviewed Brian Flynn from Super 7.
Yep.
And I had talked to a lot of people enjoyed it. And it was awesome to hear about that. But I feel like there was an oversight on my part because I noticed when I went back to look at the comments and stuff, a lot of people, I feel like there was a question I should have addressed and pushed, which was, he said he was really big about trying to make things right with customers, but he didn't give a inclination that he was going to fix the mishap with that Wave 2 of G.I. Joe.
Mm.
And I feel like I should have stood up for everybody because there were a lot of comments about it.
Yeah, I suppose there wasn't there?
And I feel like I failed as I'm speaking on my behalf, no one else's, not the show.
Yeah,
me personally, I feel like I let people down.
Yeah, I don't know. I hear you. I wasn't even thinking about that.
Yeah,
So what is he gonna do? Is there anything he can do at this point? Because I mean, or
that's the thing.
How bad is it? Is it just completely no faces, or is it like?
I think it's just there's a noticeable difference I've seen there, like between. It's almost like low res faces, like the bare minimum of here's a face, here's eyes, and the shape of a mouth, but there's no paint apps on it. And that wave is going to stick out if you continue with that wave, which a lot of people do. That's another thing I wanted to point out, that when people just criticize Super 7, they're doing it as customers, and rarely do I see people say I'm not going to buy this. It's like, I want to keep giving you money.
Right.
Can you please fix this?
Yeah.
So I feel like I did. I feel like I should have stepped in and said that. I feel like everybody was. It was my thing. You know how my history with confrontations online, they don't go well. And also, everybody was having a good time, and I didn't want to be a buzzkill, but I shouldn't have let that. I don't think I should have let that stop me from saying, at least asking, was he going to do anything about that?
I don't even know if there is that he can do, because it's not like you can send it back to get a replacement if the entire wave is affected.
Yeah, I feel like maybe you could do replacement heads.
Yeah.
At the very least.
I wonder if they'll be able to do that.
But yeah, we won't know. Oh, well, Zombies chimed in. Let's see what Zombie says. The way I look at it, it was too late to change because they were already made in the factory at the point where the eyes and mouths were already painted. Yeah. I mean, I know it's a really big problem to fix. It's like, Panthro with the underwear that were a completely different color.
Yeah.
Because that was like a massive fix, but at least they did provide a fix for people that wanted it.
Well, and there was people complaining about the paint apps on Jackalman. He didn't come with the right paint apps on something or something, but so they re-released the weapons for him, and then included the special extra head with the glowing eyes and all that. And
I feel like they should do something. And I wish we could get him. This is Memorial Day weekend, and also he's Brian Flynn.
Right.
He's not like one of us just casually just hanging out and waiting to be on podcasts and stuff. So
yeah.
I don't know exactly what to do other than message him and see if we can get a reply, but I just me personally, I noticed it, and if you felt like you got overlooked in the comments, also we had a ton of comments that I missed,
Yeah,
and there was a lot of people.
it was just flooded with comments.
Yeah, we actually weren't prepared for that. That was a big influx.
Yeah.
But for those people that say, I know he talked about like there's those 15 guys, which I do think it's more. I know he's exaggerating. I do think it's more, but for those people that say they're not happy with it, let's say 15 guys. Let's say you just bought one figure from away, 15 dudes. That's like what? That's over $800 right there. If those people decided not to do that, I think that's the type of thing that they do feel, especially with them not. It's not like they're Hasbro. Hasbro just like, oh, you had a problem. Here's a bunch of free figures or something. Shut up.
Yeah.
Like they have all this surplus and everything. Super 7's different.
Right.
So I feel like you should vote with your wallet, and if you feel like waiting, that if you're not too keen on waiting for Wave 5 to get Copper Kid, not knowing what Wave 4 is going to be or anything, maybe just reconsider. But I do agree with him that it shouldn't. Your love for a company or dislike should not segregate you as people. We really do need to stop treating each other like pieces of shit if we don't shop at one company and we do another.
Yeah.
Like, how could you buy? You can't afford that. How could you buy that? Like, people can't afford it. People have disposable income.
Yeah.
If they want to spend $55 on a figure, let them. Shut up.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't give crap the opposite way either.
Yeah.
I think that's why I wanted to stick up for the Super 7 people, because they're not like the Hasbros or anybody else. Like they really do feel like they're coming from the heart, and they're heartbroken because Super 7 has a couple licenses where they're the only people making it, and they might be the only people that ever make it again.
Right.
Like
Especially
Silverhawks,
like Thundercats.
Thundercats, yeah.
Yeah.
So I understand how important it is. I'm one of those people. I personally, I don't think I'll ever go in on Silverhawks, and this is coming from a person that I fucking just ages and ages of just like, if anybody makes Silverhawks, I'm going to buy it.
Yeah.
I miss those toys so much. But it waited till I got old enough to realize, like, maybe just me personally, they're just not for me. And it's okay. It's just toys. But I understand how it's important, because the toy is just a representation of a love and a passion for
just like
art.
Like saying, yeah. You see a thing, but you continue your love and adventure with the toys. So
yeah,
and
just it's nice to surround yourself with this stuff too. Like I know a lot of people think it's sacrilege and Golden Idol and all that stuff. It's like we talked about with the Funko Pops. It's a personification of a thing that you love that is intangible.
Right.
So I love Jurassic Park. I'm staring at a fucking T-Rex right here. It's great. Got my baby son Mario over here. It makes me happy. Reminds me of my childhood. So there is something good about it to feed off that positive energy, especially nowadays where everything gets. I think that's probably why we're so touchy and sensitive about it, because we love something so much, and things are just, the world in general is just more negative than positive.
Yep.
So when something that we love is affected in that way, it hinders our love for it. Yeah, we get touchy. We're raw about it.
Yeah.
That's my 2 cents.
Yep.
Thank you for letting me say it.
Well, I'm like I said, I'm still interested to see what's going to happen on the horizon.
Because there's a lot of still a lot of ifs out there with them. I know but the only thing that really clarified was that Silverhawks does intend to continue. If you are a fan and you love it,
so it's going to continue. They haven't lost the license.
No, and Wave 4 is going to get announced soon.
Yeah,
for pre-order. So just keep your eye. It should have already been out, I believe, is what he said. But it's coming out.
Yeah. There's just a couple things they're waiting on, and then of course the biggest news I think is Copper Kid and his Speed Racer.
Yeah, it was a big surprise to just do a vehicle out of nowhere.
Yeah,
I'll say that. that's going to be a big get for people because as rare as Silverhawks are, like the vehicle's even more rare. So
Right.
like just to have any of those in a condition or
Yep.
just a replacement, like that's we'll see how it goes. But that's going to be at least next year because I think they said Wave 3 is not even coming till what was it? March of 2024, I believe was on that thing. If I'm wrong,
Oh
you can
yeah.
correct me.
Yeah.
So it'll probably be a while before we see Copper Kid anyway.
Yeah. But he is coming.
But he's coming.
Yep.
For all those people that need the team complete. I just
And
say I feel like it's kind of I feel like he should have done that in Wave 4 though. I feel like that's pushing it a bit. I know he's going to push the line, but he's a main member. He should be in. He should have already been in the wave.
yeah.
I know it doesn't sell figures, but don't push him back 2 whole waves. That's a lot. That's asking a lot.
Well,
of
I know
people.
people are saying that about Wiley, Kit, and Cat. Like that we still don't have the full team from Super 7.
Yeah,
and it's coming, but yeah.
I understand the strategy behind it because if we either buy one figure from something, or we buy the team from something, or we buy all of them.
Yeah.
And if we have the entire team, then that doesn't really give any incentive to buy the other figures unless you're just a complete collector.
Yeah.
So, I mean, think about it. How many Batman figures do you have versus how many Joker figures do you have?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you got to have Batman, and you got to have, but you don't necessarily need a Mr. Freeze or
Yeah.
Some people don't want the whole set.
Yeah, for sure.
That's my thoughts. Anything you had to say? I didn't mean to spring that on you. I just asked you permission if I could have a little powwow with the listeners.
No, I totally agree.
I still think it was a good episode.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm disappointed in myself.
I didn't catch it either, so but it is a good thing. I'll try to reach out to him and get his thoughts, but
yeah, if you could actually, yeah, that would be an exclusive. Just is there going to be any type of thing, something that we could at least tell people?
Yeah,
like, hey, do you have any plans to like just spare heads?
Yeah,
I think people would just be happy with heads. They wouldn't even need like the extra stuff,
the whole figure, or anything.
I think they would just be relieved to have. Well, what you were? I told you, me. Don't worry about it. Somebody's been putting too much. You've been putting too much on your shoulders, my friend. He thinks he ruined that one episode because of that trailer. and now this. I love it.
It wasn't from him either. It was the Cartel 2045.
Yeah. So
that was the thing that was the main thing that was flagged, and then even I can even show you in the comments because I pulled up the copyright thing and it had bits and pieces from the other thing we played, like Tough Turf clips that we played, and then it said the main thing was the Cartel 2045. So it wasn't you. The thing that you had was the uninvited, and it said no effect. So that was the thing on there. So no effect.
Oh yeah, I guess we didn't really go into like in case you were watching that episode on YouTube and we just suddenly cut out.
Yeah,
that wasn't the end of the episode.
Yeah,
it just we got a minor flag for the one thing, but we were back up. I think the whole thing's up now. Everything's fine.
Yeah. I went through and fixed it.
Yeah,
I cleared out the stuff. So
everything's cool. Go back and watch that video because odds are you missed about 30 minutes if you thought it was just over.
Yeah, it wasn't quite over yet.
No, we they had some good laughs there at the end. I liked it. I actually appreciate you, Zombie, for sending that trailer because what the fuck was that trailer even? That's we definitely need to watch that movie.
Yeah.
I noticed there was a lot of I talk about the Heavenly Kid a good bit. I noticed there was a couple of Heavenly Kid cast members in there, at least one. So it was very 80s and nostalgic. Plus, I got to see this hands just tossing a cat into a back of a truck. I got to see what he's talking about. We should do like a live. We should do that one day. We should do like a live stream where we're watching the movie, but anybody else can't see it and hear
Yeah.
it, but they can watch it with us. Something that they can watch with us.
Yeah.
Because I think we could probably put like a timer or something up so people know where to jump in if they want to do it. I think that could be fun.
Yeah, I agree.
Or redo our Secret of the Ooze video that didn't quite work out. Because I think that was just lost to time.
Hey, well, speaking of, just got a comment.
Yeah. Yeah, what's up? Oh, I'm on the edge of my seat, guys.
Unpainted head's forearm situation with the G.I. Joe Wave 2 is addressed around 11:45.
Well, I remember he talked about what happened, but he didn't.
He said they're supposed to be painted. Brian doesn't know what happened there. He also says they're painted on Wave 3. So it was just messed up on Wave 2. Wave 2 samples Super 7 had got painted, right?
Remember that he said, he's like, yeah, those were out, so there's nothing you can do about it. He's like, no, they're out the door.
Yeah.
They're mailed. So that's the exact moment where I should have been like, well, are you gonna fix that? And I don't know. I just feel I'm carrying guilt for not.
Yeah, this toy collector 82 is saying very disappointing. No mention of a booster pack or things like they did with Thundercats. So it's very disappointing. For $55, these should have been close to the renders.
It's the same thing with the paint on the Silverhawks. I know we got in a comment about that, and I had it set aside, but it was in a tab. And it, again, my fault. I should have addressed it. But they're absolutely right. The issues with the steel wheel and bluegrass, where the paint it pours off those joints when you put in the arms. Just chips. I mean, I should have pulled that video from what is that guy's name? I can't think of his name. Anyway, he reviewed Steel Wheel, and like you can see the moment he puts in the arm and starts trying to log it, it looks like dandruff just coming off of the figure. And I'm like, he didn't say anything because I don't think he saw it. But I know for a fact, just out that video, there's a lot of people complaining about the chip issue, the paint issues, and that's important. So I don't know. Because I went in trying to be unbiased, but I wanted to say things, and I ended up becoming biased toward Super 7's side because everybody was having such a good time.
I don't know. Yeah.
But again, just me. I'm not speaking for anybody else. And I'm certainly not speaking for you, the viewer. If you want to buy Super 7 and you love them, what can I do to stop you? Go buy them. It's cool.
Yeah.
But if you're one of those people, if you're hurt, I mean, just maybe not buy the figures. And I know it's a lie. I'm telling you, because I don't buy Silverhawks, and it hurts. But also, I'm alive. I'm not going to die because I don't have Quicksilver and all these people sitting around. Bluegrass, Monstar. I love Monstar. He's like one of my favorite villain designs. I don't have that figure.
Yeah, I mean, I've been wondering, like, man, maybe I should pick up a Monstar because that thing is monstrous.
Yeah, it's like what, 8?
It's much taller than Mumra, and Mumra's like a huge figure. So
same thing with Thundercats too. Like I have the one, but it was gifted to me from Zach, and even then I'm like, yeah, it's just the Mattel one. It does look better than the Mattel release, like the paint apps and stuff. But
and Zombie makes a good point here. Yeah, those joints were not supposed to be painted. The factory made the choice to do it on their own.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the problems he's having with I know he said they had problems with a particular figure, like they want to do it the difficult way when they know it's going to cause more. There's a potential that it could cause QC issues. So they're still. I don't know. So, I know he can't talk about it, but that would have been something nice to know about, because in reality, is that something that I want to go back to the Pixel Dan episode because that's the one where he talked about how it's like his idea of Ultimates. He was talking about Godzilla. If he had released a Godzilla, it was going to have to be $85 at minimum.
Right.
Because it has to be this size and it has to be this large, or to him, it's not an Ultimate.
Yeah.
Which I thought was funny to say scale wise because it's Godzilla. Like it's no matter what you do, it's going to be off scale anyway. But he said he wouldn't release those. He didn't want to release those because they couldn't do it the way that he wanted to do it and get the price down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, if you know that it's going to be an issue, but you have to do it your way, is the issue that is it something that customers are going to care about ultimately? You know, like if it's something that's going to benefit them and they're not going to have any QC issues, and it's something they would actually maybe prefer. Maybe not fight with it. Maybe the factory has a point, you know, because if it's something that they do have QC issues later on, and it's going to just be a hassle for him, I don't know. I'm not going to pretend to understand the business. I know there's a lot of people that's like, oh, I know how to make toys. I know how to make toys. It's easy. He's absolutely right about that. It's fucking, it's stupid hard to get something done. It's just like a movie. Yeah. I should read this because we do. Right. The factory wants to do things the easiest way, Zombie says. They made the choice to do the Joe heads injected flesh tone instead of painted because it was easier. So it's not entirely Super 7's fault.
Yeah.
I get that. I do. But I also think that if you're the head of a company and you know it's going to be trouble and then there is trouble, you should be prepared to fix it. Because that is like I said, the figures aren't going to match.
Yeah.
And at $55, if it's a McFarlane, we all agree. Like, if a lot of people will just pick up a $20, $25 figure, something happens to it, they don't give a shit. They'll fix it themselves.
Yeah.
But when you start upping the game and you're getting into like import prices, people are less gun shy about it. Even Zach, I told him, I was like, oh, you should paint the Quicksilver. You should actually try to do the silver paint on it. Try to do it per list. I know you can paint cars and stuff. Why don't you try that? And he acted like he didn't quite want to do it. And he's like, oh, maybe I'll buy another one. It's like, yeah, but will you? $55 just to try something?
Yeah.
That's a lot to invest.
Well,
and a lot of people
he wants to play around with.
Yeah, and a lot of people that would like to fix something like that, we need those tutorials. We're not like you or Zombie where you work some sort of weird ass magic and make things look great. It's painting shit is hard. So I think that's what most people. I'm one of those people. I want it out of the box. I want it to just look good, and I don't want it to be durable.
Yeah,
and that's really all I care about. Like, I just want it to be a toy that I don't have to fix. I don't expect it to last forever.
Yeah. Oh well.
I look at the toys that we had as kids, and how I still have some of those, and those are still perfectly. It's like they're brand new.
Yep.
Because they just made them better. I know I went off on a weird tangent, and I'm sorry. What was that? Like a 24-minute tangent. I'm sorry. But I feel guilty. I wanted to say something. But I expect you listeners make your own decisions. I'm not going to tell you what to do.
Yep. Zombie has the right idea here.
Zombie, hey, someone wants to commission me to paint their Silverox metallic. I'm up for it. I've Googled this. I still have not found any images. I've looked on Instagram. I can't find pictures of anybody that's tried this. I figure somebody would have tried it by now.
Yeah.
I know they haven't gotten all the orders out for Wave 1, but yeah. People do have their Quicksilvers. And they certainly have their, their Bluegrass and Stillwell. So I really want to see somebody paint and just try it.
Well, I mean, and they could have got the figure like Zach did, and they're happy with it.
Yeah,
they're like, I don't need to repaint this because I see what they're going for.
I'm not because absolutely good point. Especially for the people that knew it wasn't going to look, the people that continue to buy something even after they know all the details and then they buy it and then they're disappointed, that's on you.
Yeah.
1000%. If I had gotten that McFarlane thing and I started complaining like, God, that top is so gray. Why is it gray and not black? I knew it was going to be like that. I saw the pictures. I saw Todd premiere it. Like, I knew it was not going to look right.
Yeah.
But I bought it. I'm happy with it, and I'm sure there's people are like that. I've seen the comments. People fucking love the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers line, and they certainly continue to still buy Thundercats and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's my point. Is you're going to have to vote with your dollar, and I think you can. At the end of the day, you can mail letters, and you should have your statements, and you should comment in a respectful way. But if you've done all that and you know it's probably not going to change, and you feel gun shy about it, just don't spend your money, because you shouldn't keep spending your money and complaining. That's something I can't back you up on that. I really can't. I mean, he wants to come back on Zombie because we didn't get to talk about Power Rangers, and we didn't.
Yeah, we didn't.
We didn't talk about Reaction. We didn't talk about his new toy line where it's about the comics code, where it's like grizzly zombies and stuff like Voltivar and Tales from the Crypt and stuff. I thought that was a cool idea for a toy line.
Yeah,
but
there's so much we didn't get to talk about with.
I think we knew it was going to be that way. We knew.
Yeah, but I mean, like, plus
an hour goes by quick.
Yeah, it does. Plus, I mean, like, we were on there for a couple hours, but still, I mean, when we put out the comment saying, "Hey, ask us questions," to ask him, it was like overwhelmingly hit with Silverhawks questions. So that's why I think a majority of things we asked about was.
That was the biggest. Everybody needed to know.
Yeah.
Because it's like you said, when you're quiet about something nowadays on the internet, speculation just runs rampant. Even I checked online. They were right. Like Super 7, it doesn't. You look up Silverhawks, there's nothing there. So it is kind of scary to be like, oh, well, Warner Brothers is doing this big transition and they are selling off properties and stuff. Since they merged with Discovery and. Like maybe they don't own the rights to Silverhawks anymore. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't talk about the worst.
Yep.
So if we didn't
things, I mean, there's so much we didn't talk about. But he did say
so many licenses, man.
Yeah. He did say we could definitely chat again. So.
Yeah, he did.
I messaged him after and was like, "Hey, I appreciate you coming on." Yeah. So we'll have that for the next time.
I promise, if I'm a part of that discussion, I will be more. I don't want to say aggressive. I don't know what the word. I'm a writer, but I don't know the word. Persistent. We'll go with persistent.
Yeah.
Because I'm with you. If I had done that. And I still wanted to keep buying the waves, I would want answers.
Yeah.
Just not in a mean way. But again, that's why most Super 7 fans, the comments that I read, especially on their social media, they are very polite.
Yeah.
And they just want questions. I think that's, if I had to critique Brian and say his biggest issue is it's clarity. He should be more clear about what they're working on and not just doing the pre-orders and waiting to talk about them like 3 years later or whatever.
I understand that.
That's a long time to wait. Especially when other companies like Todd, he puts out a picture and then 2 weeks later it's in the store or whatever.
Right. Well, I mean, like with Mandora, I can understand that. Like,
we didn't get to talk about that. I forgot.
Well, I had it in my hand and all that, so it's my fault I didn't bring it up. But I mean, just that conversation, I can totally see what he was saying. How, her skin is injected, so and then sometimes they don't paint over things, but in order to get that, I don't remember what word he used, but yeah, I mean, I can understand that. Plus, I mean, he said multiple times on multiple different occasions where he's just like, yeah, well, she doesn't really get much sun. She's an interstellar space traveler. So it's like, yeah, that's true. But yeah,
I think there's a lot of Brian Strong. He's a very good talker. He's very charismatic, and he loves. I mean, obviously his company. He loves properties.
Yep.
I think it is. There's a between him and the company. I'm not saying he's the only one at fault because I mean, shit. How could you put that on one person? I mean, but he is the head. And if there's problems in the factory and there's problems with distribution and there's problems with way things are rendered, everything, it's ultimately up to him, and he needs to have more transparency.
I think he does a good job in trying to do that at least, though.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that. He's on like so many fucking podcasts and he talks for hours,
Yeah.
I'm sure he doesn't know what to talk about at some points unless you ask him directly. But I think he should be listening to customers more. He shouldn't. That was one of those things. I feel like the people that do complain like assholes. I think he pushes everybody aside. I know he said he addressed it, but I still think he does it because I know he says like if they have an actual point, that he will try to address it, but he also said that in the same conversation as, the G.I. Joes win as is, there's nothing I can do about it. Like, to me, that's contradictory, and I should have called him out on it.
Well, there are multiple people out there that...
yeah, if you're enjoying your
part
G.I.
of the
Joes,
conversation, I didn't see it. I didn't even think about it at the time, but...
yeah. I don't know. I'm sorry for taking up so much time. Shit, I know it's a lot. I'm not trying to be a buzzkill now. I wasn't trying to be a buzzkill at any point.
No, I really enjoyed the conversation, and I'm looking forward to having him back. But it's just about, I don't know, like if we have something, I should probably have a notepad or something to jot it down to come back and talk about it later, or because that's one thing that I think I could have done better, but I don't know.
No, I think we did as much preparation as we could. I don't think people knew how much actual preparation we put into it, especially because it was, I wouldn't say last minute, but we had a short amount of time between confirmation and showtime.
Yeah.
And we did a lot of stuff just to make sure that we were up to that we wouldn't just go, oh, so you like
this stuff, right?
Who's your favorite Thundercat? we didn't want to do shit like that. We knew you guys had questions, so
yeah.
Also, we appreciate all the questions that people put in, and I'm really sorry if we didn't get to all of them. I really am.
Yeah,
there was just
for sure.
There were so many. We got so many. I just kept getting like text after text after text from zombies. Like, here's some more. Here's some more. And I was like, fuck. We're not gonna have enough time for all this.
Yeah, I know people were looking forward to discussion about the worst and reaction and stuff like that, but I think someone like retweeted our announcement that we were having Brian Flynn on, and he's just like, hey, reaction fans, here's something that's just like, we didn't address that at all. It's just like, other than a few comments, just like side comments.
Yeah, whoops.
Exactly.
Let's have a little transparency ourselves. We all had notes, and just we had our questions down and stuff. We still didn't get to everything on there.
Yeah. Well, plus I don't know. I feel like I personally, I had the question to ask, and I still messed it up. It's just like,
no,
fumble. Like,
I guess we're self-critiquing ourselves, and we probably should, like, at the end of the day, Brian included, we're all human.
Yeah.
And we all got to look out for each other, I guess. Same thing with
I
driving.
guess.
It's yeah, I guess. I know we should look out for each other. And yeah, like driving, like you got to be aware of everybody else at the same time as yourself. So
Yeah.
just do with that knowledge what you will. Cancel your pre-orders, go make pre-orders.
Yeah, I mean, I regret not going ahead and putting in for the Thundercats that I wanted at the time, because there was a wave that I skipped over. The latest wave I skipped over because I didn't have money at the time, so I was looking to have to get it on Big Bad Toy Store. So, and it's like I would have rather just secured it from them, because they've already said in a previous announcement that because the Thunder Tanks were rolling out and Big Bad Toy Store were rolling out their Thunder Tanks before Super 7 got theirs. So I was like one of the last to get the Thunder Tank, and it's just like, but I ordered mine directly from you. So it was like, that sucks. That's a bummer, but I still have it.
Yeah, it's like he sleeps in it. I've seen pictures. It's like a little crib with his little cherub-esque face, and he's like, that thing is so huge.
It is.
I can't still, like, I see pictures of it and I see video, and I've seen your pictures and video, and I'm just like, how is that thing is so fucking huge?
Yeah, and I'm a big dude, so like it's big when it has that heft and that he was talking about, and it's just like it has a heft, and it's big even in my hands. Like,
yeah, that's you know what? I don't mean I'm going to harp back on it because you just reminded me, and I'm sorry that I'm blaming this one on you for this additional 10 minutes of talk. The turtle van. He said it was. I didn't want to interrupt him. I should have. He said it didn't have enough heft. For the price, and so they were trying to make it, more meaty and all this stuff.
Well, they had to scale it up.
Yeah. So my thought was, why don't you just make it cheaper instead of bulking it up? I think a lot of people would be way more happier with that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
But because I know the pre-orders and the prices are locked in. I don't know. I would do something. I don't know. I guess it's because I think that's the problem with pre-orders, because you can't really change the prices.
Well, you could always refund money, but yeah.
Yeah, but on like with distribution, like the refunds would be nightmares, especially for people. I think you have to put down a deposit with a lot of people for that turtle van.
Yeah.
A non-refundable deposit. So that's one of those things, like I wish I'd said something like, why didn't you plan? Because I know they've already changed the plans too, because they were the ones where it had the hump, right? The weird hump that people didn't like in the design, and they decided to get rid of it.
Well, I don't think that was the reason they had to change. They had to switch factories.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying that was them though, right?
I don't even remember.
I think there was one. If I'm
wrong, thought it was NECA.
See, I don't know. It could have been NECA.
Yeah.
Because everybody was releasing, everybody and their mother, hey, I got a turtle van for sale.
Yeah. I don't know. It could have been. All I know is I was looking, and I thought I had pre-ordered it, but I cannot find the confirmation that I did. So I'm not going to get a turtle van, even though I pre-ordered all the mother effing turtles, the main team.
That's what you never know, man. What if you forgot and you can find it and you just end up with a turtle van later?
If I end up with a turtle van, great. If not, I'm not buying one right now because I have literally $0.
Hey, I wish I could help you out, because that was before the medical stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I don't remember at all if you got one or not.
Yeah, I thought, because I thought we talked about that a couple times. I was just like, yeah, so not only am I getting the enormous Thunder Tank, I'm going to have a turtle van too that I don't know what to do with. It's going to be huge. I remember being like stressed about it, and then I cannot find it at all. Cannot find the confirmation order. I've looked in my emails. I've checked the website, but it has it also went through a transition. The store did, where it transitioned from one to another. So you have to go back and forth between the two different pre-order pages. And so I couldn't find it on either one of those. So I was like, well, I guess I didn't get it. So my bad.
Well,
And I don't know, in retrospect, I'm thinking like, yeah, maybe I probably shouldn't have anyway. So at least I saved the money.
well, I've inadvertently bulked up this episode. Kind of tagged along. Thank you, JM, though, for real.
Yes.
I love him so much, and I'm glad we got to finally get him on the show. Just my brain started working. I'm like, fuck, we should invite JM, idiot.
I thought we had it, but I thought we had him before in a previous season.
I don't think we have. If we have, I'm sorry, and I forgot, but I don't think we ever have. I think we've just talked about him.
Yeah.
And if we have, God, we're going on 5 years now, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's fixing to come up. We need,
but I mean,
if we haven't passed it, we should do something for our 5th year anniversary.
Yeah.
Like a big hullabaloo, something.
Well, it's going to be in May or June. Yeah, June or July sometime is going to be coming up on our 5th year, I think.
Ooh. Got ideas? Send them to us.
Right.
I think we should. You know what? I wanted to play there was a game I was wanting to play with everybody. If everybody's down, Zombie, if you happen to be sticking around, you let me know your thoughts. I want to play a game called Know Your Shit, where I quiz everybody, but everybody's quiz is specifically tailored to the thing that they are an expert in. They pick, like, for you, Star Wars. You get nothing but Star Wars questions. And Zach will get nothing but, I don't know, Fast and Furious questions. And if you get like 10 points if you just know it off the bat. You get 5 points for multiple choice. And if anybody else can get your question, they get 20 points. And we just see who comes out on top. But I need to know because it would take a while to get up enough questions for everybody. I'd have to do a lot of research.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have to do research on Star Wars.
Yeah, you don't have to pick Star Wars. I just because fucking dude, you know your Star Wars. I think it's between you and John, but I still think you have John B. I don't mean to. Oh, Zombie Goods. Zombie says sounds fun.
Yeah.
Zombie, what would your category be? Just
4 Horsemen.
Yeah, I guess I could dig up a bunch the history of 4 Horsemen. That would take some research. But I could do that.
I think you're talking to a person who probably would dominate in that category. He knows stuff that other people have forgotten. He's just like, hey, remember this? And they're like, oh, there used to be that. And
yeah, he could be like the Sam. Was it Sam Whitmire?
Yeah,
it could be that to. I forgot his name.
Dave Filoni.
Yeah. Where he just outschools Dave Filoni on Star Wars knowledge.
Yeah.
Oh, I've never seen it before. I watched him do a Collider quiz against Freddie Prinze Jr. about Star Wars. That was pretty entertaining.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How did you?
It basically I can't remember what question it came down to, but it was something. Yeah, Sam Whitmire knew he won.
Oh yeah,
but I think it came down to Freddie Prinze. He needed to answer a question, and he didn't have the answer, and he messed up. Human,
yeah.
But it was fun. Probably toys in general, but I do know a lot about 4 Horsemen.
Right.
I could do just like toys, just like if you pick like specific. I would ask people to specifically each participant to give me a thing. I would love to get Kurt on at the same time too. Try to get everybody on.
Mm-hmm.
Try to find this magical time where we could all be on, if at all possible, and have like a fun quiz.
Yeah, well then I will start planning for it, and I'll double check the first time we posted a video or the trailer because I have that. I think I just sent it to you not too long ago about Swords of Power Unite because that was our first teaser we did. And we did Swords of Power Unite, and it had a silhouette of you and a silhouette of my character, and then we went on YouTube and did that video. So yeah,
Cool.
about the joining of powers and all that stuff.
And I think I know, just in case, I would prepare some tiebreaker questions, and the tiebreaker questions would be the history of Geekmen and the Masters of the Thunder Nerds.
Yeah,
to see if people could actually remember our episodes.
because I don't even remember the episodes.
Dude, I couldn't remember the name of the episode that I wrote for the Grey Rooms. I'm glad I'm going to be a host and I'm not going to participate.
Right. I don't remember either, but I remember that being a significant story. Like, I was just like, wow, that knocked my socks off. Like, between you and JM, just absolute magic. I got chills multiple times throughout the episode. So
I appreciate that.
One of those
dude.
defining moments.
Highly credit Graham Rowett, who has been on the show. I'd
Yeah.
like to get him on the show. I need to try to get in touch with him. We haven't talked to him forever.
Yeah.
Just
It has
phenomenal
been-
voice acting.
Yeah, since season 3, I think we had him on.
I think so.
And it was Let Graham Be Your Bacon.
Like Graham Be Your Bacon.
Yeah.
That was a fun episode. He's cool. And also just like a really big nerd.
Yeah.
Well, and they had, man, that was such that I think it was like the first episode. I'm going to reminisce here for a second. The first episode of Grey Rooms I did, it was like a shorter episode,
Mm.
and I didn't know Graham was going to be in it and anything. And Brian was telling me about, oh yeah, the Graham's going to do this. He's a voice actor. And I'm like, oh really? Has he been in anything?
Brian Black, not Brian Flynn.
Oh yeah, sorry. I guess we
For
have been
anyone
talking
that
about
is still.
Brian Black, the co-creator of Grey Rooms.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, Graham's been in some stuff, and I'm like, oh, really? Cool. Let me look him up. He was in the video game BioShock 2 that I was currently playing for the first time. And I was like, holy shit! So the first time we talked, he I got to laugh at him. I was like, I just killed you in BioShock. But yeah, Graham's cool. I like him.
Yeah.
He's on Evil. People should check out Evil. He's in the season 1 of Evil.
He's
Hey,
in
Jessica.
a season of Evil. I don't know if it's season 1. I think it might be season 2, but
Maybe.
yeah.
Anyway, he's the police. The incel episode. That was like his big episode. He was in the episode before it, but he's also the incel episode.
Hmm.
I think I'd just leave it at that. I don't want to spoil that episode for anybody that hasn't watched Evil. It's a good show.
It is. It's such a good show. Like, I'm looking forward to the next season.
I know. I think it's one of those shows. You know how like sometimes things go downhill when it goes to stream. Feel like that got a resurgence.
Mm-hmm.
It got way more views because of streaming.
Yeah.
Because I don't think people were not many people were watching it on TV at the time.
Yeah. No, I had no idea about it. It wasn't until I think who picked it up.
I think it's just CBS.
Oh, Paramount Plus.
Yeah,
Paramount Plus
Paramount.
has it. And so we watched it on that, and it's just like, wow, this show's awesome. So
Real quick, what are you up to, Jessica? What's your plans for Memorial Weekend? I'd like to check in with the people that
absolutely.
are repeat viewers. I know, I guess dead air while we're waiting. In the meantime, I should say that Arklay Mountains will be on here Monday night.
Yep.
Sean's been on the show. If you remember the Silent Hill episode,
Yep.
When we talked to Sean, he has 2 bands actually. He's in 2 bands, but one band, Arklay Mountains. And I forgot to tell you. We'll tell the guest. It was going to be just 2 of them. We're actually going to have the full set. Everybody from Arklay Mountains is going to be on.
Nice.
Not much. Just got back from my son's graduate. Oh yeah, your son was graduating. Tell him congratulations.
Congrats.
That's an important move.
Yeah.
Now, tell him not to feel the pressure, and then play that clip from Tough Turf about with the dad speech.
Right.
Just play that for him. He'll right as rain. He'll be good to go.
Yep. That's right.
Well, shit. I guess we should probably wrap up. I just like hanging out with you, Dustin.
Yeah, me too. I mean, it's definitely the highlight of my days. Usually is looking forward to the next podcast. Because I mean, I literally all I do is I sit at home. I don't work. I can't drive.
Yeah,
So,
that's another thing. I feel for you because I know you're going through all these, having to jump through so many medical hurdles right now just to stay in shape. And it's I feel for you, dude.
Yeah, well, it is what it is.
I'm just glad you're around.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know if people know how scary that was. We were flat out told, like, just expect you to die, basically.
Yeah.
That was rough. And just how the weeks just kept going and going. And we're like, oh man, he's still hanging in there. Maybe he's got this.
Yep.
Thank God you did, dude.
Yeah.
Kicked its ass.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yep.
That was terrifying. Ask Zach. I had some good phone cries with him. It was some rough shit.
Yeah.
I think the thing that got us going when we started laughing was we were joking about how you had too many pre-orders. Like you can't die.
Yeah. So, I did have quite a few. And
it
was still weird, like, because it was just like things kept showing up. And they're like, oh, is it something you ordered? Or I'm just like, I don't know. Because I didn't have all my memories back at that point. I still don't, but it was still like hey, another box. Cool. What's in here? Open it up. Figures. Next box. Open it up. Figures.
I'm glad you had that waiting on you. That's like a nice. Yeah, for sure.
I had a good stack in my chair for when I actually came down and got to start looking through it. And they're piled all over my desk and everything. So.
Yeah, there it is. I never doubted you for a second, my friend. I had the Mythic Legions cabal backing me and pulling for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, homie. Oh yeah, Jessica. I bet you did cry. The mom cries, being so proud of your son. Oh, you went to Galaxy Candies and Collectibles. Yeah. It was a cool store with such cool things. I'm glad you went.
Yeah, me too.
I got an itch to go back there.
Cool store.
Yeah.
I just want to go through the dollar bin.
That's where I spend most of my time, and I've only been through 2 of the boxes, and I still have to abandon some stuff because I'm like, I've already got like $15 worth of comics here. I need to back away, read these first, then come back and hit that box again. I still got like, look, I've only like just a small little pile here, man. I've only hit that. There's like another ginormous pile. Even Renee hit it up. She was like, ooh, that looks cool.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, it's just a bug. Just pick it up. Even if you just want to like look at the cover. It's nice. Yeah, it was a spur of the moment kind of thing. My kid saw it after. Oh, yeah. Well, cool. I'm glad you just went down there. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
So we also need to get Omega Toys on here.
Yes.
So I need Zombie to talk to him and get him on here.
Absolutely.
And maybe even we can hit up I suck with names. What's the other dude that helped him out with the toy sales? Toys R Us, not Toys R Us.
I can't help you. Fiddler on the Roof.
Fiddler on the Roof. Yeah, I don't know. So
oh shit!
Oh my god!
Jessica, my kid spent almost $100. It's really easy. If I had had that cash. Oh yeah, because he's got all that graduation money, probably, right?
Yes, yeah. Salesaurus.
Salesaurus, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe even get him on for when John and Zach talk about wrestling, because he's a big wrestling guy. I think they both are. But
plan that for him to have that would be like a cool combo thing, like have him on as a guest to talk the store, but then talk wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know they're big on wanting to do a show together.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. And I mean, there's so much stuff. Like I was just talking with Kurt earlier today, and he's just like, yeah, so between JM and Arclay Mountains, I was telling him about those and extended an invitation in case he wanted to. But yeah, he has stuff going on. But yeah, so he was like, oh, cool. So if I, can get bands or something on this, and I'm like, yeah, sure, go for it. If you have a way in, go for it.
Please, dude. I that's what's great about having on the multi-host.
Yeah,
is that Jessica bought some kind of King Kong figure and a bunch of candy and a King Kong soda.
nice.
I wonder if it's that one. I want to know if it's that NECA one.
Cherry wine.
Yeah, you should have got it. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, cheer wine, it flows
Cheer
like
wine.
water down here.
Yeah, I need to find it. I don't know. I want to try it.
It's really good. You know what? Wait till I get some cash. I'll send you like a 6-pack or something. Travis does a lot of whatnot sales at the time. It's going to be tricky to lining him up, but I am working on it. Okay,
Good.
Yes. Oh, can we, since Kurt, real quick, I mean, let's just round this off to 2 hours. Where is, Jessica knows. Cheer wine. It's delicious. Nectar of the Gods.
Yeah.
Don't we have like some of his music here?
Yeah, we do.
Let's play just
it's
like
down in the music section.
The one that's actually tracked. Instrumental.
Yeah, instrumental. Those are just the.
Let's play a little bit of Kurt music.
Yeah.
Introduce. Dirty Dragon Rock. I love that shit.
So he has 2 albums under his Voodoo Brother, and this is just the instrumental part of it. They do have words and stuff like that, but yeah. So yeah. I really enjoy both albums.
That's so cool, man. How lucky are we that we know all these? Because John's a musician, has an album. Kurt, musician. JM.
Yeah.
Arklay, Sean. We got so many, like, and not even like
talented friends.
Yeah, they're not even like the kind of shitty, like the ones that like, hey, come out and hang out and watch me play.
Yeah.
Fucking, here's Wonderwall. None of that. Like they making their own music and stuff, man.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah,
I'll brag about Sean's other band. If Ghost of Shadow Moses, fucking kick ass.
Yeah,
and they did. Sean just out of nowhere. I'm telling you, he's like, "You want us to do a soundtrack to your book?" And I'm like, "What?" It's like, "Yeah, let's do a soundtrack to your book." You can find it on Spotify. It kicks ass. Year 47. Ghost of Shadow Moses. It's so good. If you buy the book, you get it for free anyway. But
is that the thing in the back of the book?
Yeah, in the back of the book, every copy has a download link, and you just use that, and you get like a whole gift set of videos and PDFs, and deleted scenes, all sorts of shit.
Yeah, and I mean the 4v7, that is.
Yeah,
I want to do that.
I know I teased it a long time ago. I would like to do that as a comic. That's the only thing we haven't done as a comic.
Yes. I mean, and we know Roland.
Yeah, so we just need you think Roland would print it because it's kind of like up front, if you just look at it as it is, it does seem like it's satanic or something, but when in reality it's actually like pro-Christian.
Yeah, I mean we don't even necessarily have to go through Roland, but there's this it's comics with an X, wellspring.com, and they print comics, posters, and all this stuff. This is someone that Defenders of Eden works with.
Yeah. I think
Ideas for Mars.
I think somebody at Silverline has had something like that too.
Yeah.
I just can't. I'm sorry, I can't remember his name.
But
I think they have a comic distribution thing where you can just like upload your own images and You upload your comic and then have them printed on demand.
Yeah,
I think that could be cool. I know Zach's down. Is that code in the back of the heart? Yes, it is. In the back of it's only in the back of those. It's only in the back of that particular book.
I just moved mine. I don't know where it went.
Yeah, it's there's a code in there. And there's a shit ton of spoiler stuff. So if you haven't read all the way through the book, I would actually recommend afterwards.
Yeah.
But there's deleted scenes. There's what all did I put in there? There's actual animations I did. There's artwork I did for ads for you guys, like for Aquatic Realm and stuff. Like all that stuff is in there. I tried to make it like a deluxe Blu-ray or DVD, like with all the special features, because I wanted to like kind of do that, put everything together, and then just kind of shelve that stuff for a while. So
and I mean, I don't know. It's really good.
And Dustin's in it. If you didn't, I always point the wrong fucking way. Dustin's in it. This guy, he's got a really good story. And actually, Zach's in it too. Zach's in it. He wrote. It's basically Predator with an angel, and I fucking love it. I don't mind spoilers for anything. I look for spoilers. But, cool. Then have at it. Go at the special features then.
Yeah.
You know, I know one of the things is an animation. I know exactly what one of the demons in that book looks like. I actually know I know what all the demons in that book look like. If I could just present it as a movie, I would.
Yeah.
But I actually animated one of them, and there's a music video in there. There's a music video in there, the Arklay Mountains that I animated. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
You get all sorts of goodies.
Yeah, the only thing
make it worth it.
Yeah, the only thing that I wish was in there was this playlist that you gave me. You used this playlist. You said, okay, I used this playlist when I was writing the book, and it helped inspire me. And so I put it on. I downloaded it and put it on, and I'm just like, oh, dude, dang it! It's so good.
I got your back. It is in one of those things. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, is it?
I put the Spotify playlist on there.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if you'd actually even be able to, but
I can put like the playlist. I can't like give people downloads of those songs. I'm sorry.
Right.
But you can totally make a playlist of those songs, and it's there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome that you did.
To pay those people, I would. You know.
No kidding.
A lot of Mars Volta and At the Drive-In, and also the one At the Drive-In song is like the soundtrack to that book. Like when I was writing that book, that was the song in my head all the fucking time.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, what's the song they redid with they didn't redo it, but it was with Stranger Things.
And
they played it on the promo for season 4 of Stranger Things, like nonstop. And then that song had a huge resurgence.
I forgot. God, yeah, because then it's Running Up That Hill.
Yeah, Running Up the Hill.
There is a Placebo cover of Running Up the Hill on that soundtrack. That was a big song for me writing that
one
years ago. So now I'm
glad that one in particular. Yeah, that one in particular was really vibing with me when I wrote my story in it.
Jessica had her back.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. And so that one was really vibing for me. There was the Frog Man. There was a couple really good songs on there that I was just like jamming out as I pounded away at my keyboard typing up that story.
I think I actually put a cover of the CD album.
Yeah.
Like I didn't distribute that or anything. That was just like a weird giveaway for myself.
Yeah.
in a weird way. Like I wanted to make like a CD album. I think it's on there and it has all the track listing and stuff. But yes, that Placebo's cover of Running Up That Hill, I fucking love that song.
I love that more than the original.
Yeah.
It's like, this is the song.
I heard that one first years ago and I didn't know it was a cover for a while. And then I was like, oh, this is Kate Bush. And I know everybody loves Kate Bush.
Yeah.
And then, of course, season 4 of Stranger Things happened a couple years ago and everybody's just like, oh, for sure, Kate Bush.
Yeah. Just like, dude, I've known about this song forever.
Like, yeah, that song's good. It's a good song. Especially they do like a nice slow like
Yeah.
methodical cover of that. And it's really good.
Yeah. I think it, I don't know. It just sounded really good to me. So I vibed on that song a lot.
Well, I'm glad that worked out for you. And plus, I think I made a playlist for authors. I asked you if there was like songs you were using to like for your music.
Yeah.
That's its own playlist, and I'm pretty sure I included the link to that in a file somewhere. If I didn't, just ask me for it. It's on playlist. It's on Spotify
Nice.
publicly, so people can kind of just chill with the music.
Yeah.
That I can't afford to pay people. I'm sorry. But they were big influences. That and the one I didn't put on there was I don't know if there's any Trigun fans out here, but there's a song called Big Bluff, I think, that's on the score. That was a huge, that was another vibey song I kept.
Yeah.
Because that's a space western, a sci-fi space western, and I love that. That's my favorite anime, Trigun.
I've never seen it, so
it's really good. Renee, I try to share stuff with Renee because she's down for everything. Perfect relationship in terms of like entertainment and stuff. It's like she's game for anything. I'm like, oh my god, I get to share anything then. But Trigun, she fell in love with Trigun.
Nice.
Huge Vash fan. We both want to meet Johnny Young Boyish now. So
he does the voice in that.
That was his first anime gig, and it was a fluke. Somebody just said, "Hey, we need a." That was when they would casually dub anime.
Yeah.
Nowadays there's like a whole system for doing it, but they would get an import, and a company would be like, "Yeah, we can dub it."
Mm-hmm.
And he knew the guy knew him, and he was like, "Yeah, you're doing stuff. Can you just come dub this?" And he's like, "I've never done anime dub. I don't know." He's like, "Just come do it." It's Vash the Stampede, first anime job, fucking kills it. It's so iconic. I can't. I've wanted to try to watch the Japanese dub, but I don't think I can let it go. It's like Cowboy Bebop. I can't separate. Yeah. Like Stephen Bloom is Spike Spiegel, and I can't do any other voices.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Yeah, I get that way sometimes, but I will just like for example, when I was watching My Hero Academia, the voice of Piccolo is the voice of All Might. So that was like a way in. It drew me out of my Dragon Ball obsession and planted me firmly here. And I'm just like, yeah, All Might. Yeah, go All Might. This is cool. And then it's just like, I actually really like Deku. It's
a good show.
I like Bakugan. It's just like,
if you've listened to us, if you've never heard the our My Hero Academia discussion, that was a fun episode. That's one of my favorites. Yeah. Thinking back on it,
yeah,
that was a fun episode.
Yeah, it was.
And you should just be watching My Hero Academia before that new season comes out, which might be the last. I don't know. Yeah. But do some catching up. Get the Crunchyroll app. Was it Crunchyroll?
Yeah, Crunchyroll. It's on Hulu, but I mean
the commercials and stuff. If you don't
commercials, you could power through it in pretty much a couple days on Crunchyroll. So
did I tell you? Like I ended up dropping Hulu because I started getting double ads just on My Hero.
Yeah,
and then when they did that Disney merge, they couldn't. They linked my emails and it wouldn't. I didn't have an account, and I had to get. That was a nightmare. So I fixed that. And then it happened again. It signed me out and I couldn't sign back in. I'm like, this is 1000% my ID. I know what it is. It's like the only email I use, really.
Right.
Find my thing and just let me have my access. Because I have like that Spotify Hulu bundle.
Right.
That you can't get anymore. That was like a weird, promotional thing. Like you signed up for it. And if you didn't get it, they haven't had it since.
Right.
So I contact them and they're going through tech and I'm just sitting there waiting, and then they come back and they're like, okay, so what we need you to do, could you cancel your Spotify, get them to get you a refund and then re-sign up for Spotify to get the Hulu deal with a new address? And I'm like, That's the dumbest tech help I have ever had in my entire life. Congratulations. Not only can I not do that, it's impossible. I don't think that's going to solve the problem anyway. So I got tired of doing it. I just changed my Spotify plan so I never had to go back, and I just dropped Hulu completely. I was barely using it.
Yeah.
I know I'm missing out on a couple shows, but I don't know.
I'm not really sure how much it's worth it, but
but yeah, the double commercials on it took me like 40 minutes to watch one episode of My Hero Academia.
Exactly.
I was like, I can't do this. This is way too slow. So I got Crunchyroll for a bit, and I was able to watch like a whole season in a day.
Right.
So
yeah. I did the same thing though, because it was just like, this is abysmal. Because I think I was getting the double commercials too at the same time, so it was brutal.
Yeah. Jessica says she got rid of Netflix, HBO, and Paramount Plus. It's really hard. I feel like you kind of have to leap around for what you want.
Yeah,
because there's no reason to keep anything. I don't like the new. Surprise! A nerd doesn't like something in pop culture. I don't like the Max, the transition from HBO Max to Max. I would have paid them more if they had not. They just kept it, because it's weird now. I just keep getting suggestions for HGTV and like crime documentaries and stuff. I'm like, no, I just want movies and TV.
Yeah.
And I can't separate it. It's all sifted in there.
And
they got rid of their like the custom closed captioning. You can't do custom avatars on there anymore. They do exactly like Paramount and Netflix and everything, where they have the little icon choices.
Yeah.
I should just do that. I mean, I got a lot of stuff on DVD anyway.
Right.
Jessica says she'd rather rewatching her DVDs.
Yeah.
So they had an icon said, this will get you, Zach. I mean, Dustin. It'll also get Zach. That's probably what I was thinking. They have a row for Batman animated series.
Oh, okay.
And you're like, okay. Well, the Riddler, it looks like it's pulled from some weird promotional thing, like a coloring book or something.
Okay.
It's not pulled from the show. Also, there's no Batman. They put
How
him
do
in
you have a Batman?
It should be the first one. Bane's the first one. And you go through and you're
Bane
like,
of my existence, man.
And I'm like, yeah, exactly. Good one. Golf clap. I went down a row, and it's in the Justice League Unlimited row, and you have to pick that Batman, specifically that one, which I don't have a problem with. That actually is my icon. I would use the Riddler if it was a shit.
Yeah.
But I was just like, what is the choices here? And then they have like a row for Velma, the most hated fucking show on Max.
Right.
And you can use those icons.
Yeah, I'd rather not. I'd rather not and say I didn't.
But also I saw it. I have a legacy plan, so everything's okay for right now. But I think in like 6 months.
Yeah,
if I want 4K, I have to pay $20 a month. And I'm like, what are you doing? I don't know what Warner Brothers is doing. It's like Jessica, Velma was people, that show is only successful because people are hate watching it.
Right.
Which completely defeat the purpose. If there's a season 2 of Velma, it's your own fault, people.
Yeah.
You did this. I got rid of Disney Plus too, but I forgot about Loki. Oh yeah, she's a hardcore Loki fan. You're gonna have to get Disney Plus back.
Well, I'm surprised because she's a big Jeremy Renner fan. Have you watched all of Renovations?
Oh yeah, what is that on? That's on
Disney Plus.
Yeah, and also there's I'm assuming she watched all of it's on Paramount Plus. What's the show on Paramount?
Oh, Hawkeye?
No, the
yeah.
I'm sure she's yelling at us right now.
Mayor of Kingstown.
Yes.
I loved that show. It was really good.
I'm stuck on Beavis and Butthead right now. That show's the best it's ever been. It's genuinely funny. Yeah, Jessica has. I know there's like a slight delay,
Yeah.
and has watched all of Renovations.
Yeah.
Man, it's hard. We should do it. We should do an episode about like. We probably should do like a streaming episode because everything's changing now.
Yeah.
It is right. I do like the idea of like it has become like you pay for a channel basically.
Yeah.
At least that, but at the same time, if you want everything, it's more expensive than cable now, so it's really weird.
Yeah.
And they have to generate more and more stuff, and instead of, I just wish companies would do the whole, just put everything up and leave it up.
Whoa. You have a Mayor of Kingstown tattoo?
Oh,
that's insane.
She has
wow.
No, man, she does.
That's some hardcore dedication. What's it of? You'll have to send me a picture of what it is.
It's man, she might have it up on Instagram. She's a hardcore Jeremy Renner fan.
Yeah.
For reals.
And obviously RDJ, so.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I'm trying to get to your post. Jessica, permission. Do you care if we show the tattoo? If I can find it. It might not be the same one I'm thinking of. She does have one inspired by one of his songs. I remember that one.
So we just got a comment. Too many different voices in the kitchen. Too many different voices. Too many cooks in the kitchen trying to talk all over the person you're interviewing. Just a word to the wise. Allow the person you're interviewing to speak more than you do. Good tip.
Okay.
That was the official tip. Someone commented on our Brian Flynn video.
Oh, Brian, man, I
was like, I'm pretty sure Brian talked more than we did.
If we talked over him, I apologize, but also if you don't interrupt him, you can't ask questions.
Right.
So one of the two. I'll be kind of defensive, but I will take that to heart.
Yeah. No, it's legit. Like I get it sometimes.
We can share
when we talk, we interrupt people. So yeah, I get you.
We're human. We apologize.
And there's a slight delay.
Yeah, I did notice that Brian was on like a bigger delay than us.
Yeah.
I think people joke, but yeah, there's the Jeremy Renner inspired tattoo for the song. And then also
awesome.
you can notice the Iron Man on the thigh.
Nice.
Big Robert Downey Jr. fan.
Yeah. I dig it. This is the only tattoo I have.
Yeah, your Superman tattoo. I don't have any tattoos. I would like to. Well,
it was one of those things. I was in the hospital and I'm like, you know what? I never got a tattoo. I want to get a tattoo. That's like on my bucket list before I die. And so I went and got one, and my wife went too, and she got Wonder Woman, and I got Superman.
Well, so, if I was going to get one, I would get this. It's a kind of a deep cut. The Shadow of the Colossus video game. There's like a weird like sigil that marks a weak spot on the Colossi, where you got to hit them. I would totally get that.
That'd be cool.
Oh, zombie! It touched a zombie nerve. He said, "It's live and unscripted show, people. It's not going to be perfect like a rehearsed interview on TV." Yeah. I guess.
Well, that is also true.
Fucking goddamn it! We're fucking mad about this.
You touched a nerve. It is like I'm not gonna lie, because Brian was on a delay.
Yeah.
And he is a talker. It was hard to get in questions, and you didn't know when. Like he would stop, and you think, "Oh, is he done?" And you try to get in a question, and then
you're overlapping.
Yeah. And you're right. No joke. We did talk about, we were worried about having too many people in there at once. That's why we split all of our questions.
Yep.
We were aware of the problem, but if we did poorly, we will work on it.
Yeah.
Thank you and subscribe.
They probably won't watch this video though. So
Great. I give a shit. I promise.
Well, I need to use one now.
I know they're
Where's my
fun.
boo? Where's my boo?
You don't know which one to do?
Man, I don't even have an opinion.
Well, you gotta have an opinion.
Boo! Boo! Rubbish! Filth! Slime! Muck! Boo! Boo! Boo!
Too many. There's one. Do I save it? There's one. I think the one I really want to use at some point. I'm just gonna show it. Like, fuck it. I might never ever get to use it.
This is so fucking rad, but also really fucking dumb.
Literally anything I say can be followed by that.
I guess so. We've got God. We're children. 40-year-old children.
Yep.
Well, we should probably wrap up.
Yep.
But again, Monday,
Yes.
Arclay Mountains, please join us. They are just amazing too. I wish I could convey sincerity about how much we actually do love our musical guests. Like,
Yeah.
We love, because we're personal friends with them, but also just, to me, music that's some wizardry. I don't understand how music is done, but I love music so much.
Yeah.
But I can't play a lick of it.
Yep. I mean, you're talking to a person that has half a dozen guitars in their house, and I still can't play anything about it.
I know, they're just so fun. They're like little artifacts. It's like owning a wizard's wand or a staff. It's like a wizard had this. It's like cool. I don't know how to use it, but awesome.
Awesome.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you'll
I
have
will
to
definitely check those out.
Yeah, check those out. Just check out Jessica. She's cool.
Yeah.
Cool, buddy. Well, until
It's been
Monday.
fun.
I know I don't want to go, but we really should. We'll just hang out afterwards, I guess. We're just letting people watch us hang out at this point. So.
Yeah. Oh, dude. So, all right. Here, how about? Oh man, fuck. I don't think I can. Oh wait. I can't. I don't know if I have it. That's that. Okay. No, I can't. Just gotta find where I put it. Here we go.
Holy God, what are you showing me? Come on.
I'm about to show you something. This is
sorry. Child with buttons.
all right.
Yeah, what have we got? Should I blow? I'll blow up the screen.
No,
What have we got?
I think I got to do it. Hang on. Present extra camera.
Oh, the extra cam. The extra cam.
I promise it's not going to be pointed at my junk. This one. Okay, there we go.
Solly was asking if you were having a stroke.
Okay, so there's my screen.
Yeah.
Here's my.
Oh wow! Wait a minute.
Pandora.
Let's do solo.
And this is the figure that I've worked on posing, and I'm like all proud of because it's standing on one foot. It's getting ready to kick the fuck out of someone. It's gonna be so cool.
I feel like we should have let's have music play. Man, yeah, because we don't get to see this.
Yeah. I mean, that's my inspiration. Here's my.
Yeah, that Boba Fett's actually signed, right?
Yeah, signed by Jeremy Bullock. Let's see, Jeremy Bullock and Dave Dorman, the artist who did this.
That's a cool piece, man. I still love it.
And there's my
Oh yeah,
Lionel.
we got a bunch of Freddie Williams. Jessica loves Freddie
Yeah.
Williams too.
Yeah, over here.
Just a cool dude.
I love this. I love that one.
I think I've mentioned it before, but Godzilla versus Power Rangers. What an awesome comic. Go get that. Mild spoiler alert. The Megazord gets his shit kicked in. It's awesome.
See my Boba Fett back there. Monkey and
That's so cool, man. Oh, I like the little Superman with the changer in it.
oh yeah, it's not a chain. It's it's a whistle. Let's see. Yeah, that's my old lifeguard whistle. I used to be a lifeguard.
I didn't
This
know
is
that.
this
I've
is
known
a
you for
bank.
years.
That's a Superman bank. It's full of coins. But yeah, so that's my sort of
Oh, that's
world
so-
over here.
That's cool. God, you really are surrounded by it. You're just looking at it.
Yeah. These are my lights for painting that I don't really paint anymore. But yeah,
You know
that's my
what?
desk.
I think. Let's put this. I think I had the matching bank.
And yes, that is the same bank.
Hold on. So put them side by side. God, I can't remember how to do everything's backwards.
Hello, how are you?
I'm not going that far. How am I doing? My parents are dead.
Oh, that sucks. Mine are too. Now, in some comics.
It's- All right. Good joke. Good joke.
Oh, that was fun.
Sometimes my parents not dead and he's a Batman.
Oh, you have the Turtles one?
Yeah. Oh, it's a shame about the Loki tattoo. We'll just, if you ever want to, we can put it up or whatever. You can send it to us.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I knew about a Loki tattoo. I got to be perfectly honest. Oh, God. Sorry, that music loops. That's probably bugging the shit out of people. Although it shouldn't. I picked JM's. Okay, you can stop. There we go. That wasn't loud enough. Wilhelm. Okay, for real. We're leaving this time.
See you guys later.
Later, everybody.
Peace out.